On my birthday, I got a video from an unknown number. It was my wife in our bed with her ex. But the real gut punch? My own daughter walked in, hugged him, and said, "I wish you were my dad." What the hell do you do when your whole family has already replaced you? My name is Alex. I'm 38 years old, a civil engineer who builds bridges for a living, the kind that carry thousands of people every single day, the kind engineered to hold up under insane pressure, wind, weight, time. I thought I'd built a pretty solid life, too. 13 years married to Monica, a 12-year-old daughter named Harper, a suburban house with a 2-car garage and the mortgage that came with it. We looked like the picture-perfect family on the outside. Turns out, I don't know crap about foundations, because the one under my own house was rotten to the core. It was my birthday. Nothing fancy planned. Monica had said she'd make dinner. Harper even promised she'd actually sit at the table instead of disappearing into her room with her phone. Small victories, right? I left the job site early, picked up a decent bottle of wine on the way home, thinking about how I'd survived another year of pretending everything was fine. My phone buzzed at a red light. Unknown number. A text with a video link. I almost deleted it. Spam, right? But something made me click. The video loaded. I recognized our bedroom immediately. The gray comforter Monica picked out last year. Those stupid decorative pillows I always knocked onto the floor. The angle was from our dresser, like someone had propped a phone up there on purpose. Then I saw her, Monica, in our bed with a man I didn't recognize. I should have stopped watching. I should have thrown the phone out the window. But I couldn't move. The video kept playing. They were finished. Sheets tangled, his arm around her, both of them catching their breath. She was smiling. Not the tired, obligatory smile she gave me anymore. A real one, the kind that lit up her whole face back when we were dating. The bedroom door opened. Harper walked in. My 12-year-old daughter walked right into that room like it was the most natural thing in the world. She didn't look shocked. She didn't look confused. She looked happy. She walked over to the bed and hugged him. This stranger, this man still in my bed with my wife. Harper wrapped her arms around his neck and he kissed her forehead like he'd done it 1,000 times before. Then she said it. "I wish you were my dad." 5 words. That's all it took. The man smiled at her, stroked her hair. Monica didn't pull Harper away. She didn't say it was inappropriate. She just sat there, sheet pulled up to her chest, watching them like it was a goddamn Hallmark movie. The video ended. I sat there at the green light with cars honking behind me. I watched it again, then again, looking for something that would make it make sense, an explanation, a joke, anything. But there wasn't one. This wasn't new. This wasn't a one-time mistake. My daughter knew this man. She was comfortable enough to walk into the bedroom right after he'd slept with my wife. My daughter wished he was her father. How long? How many times had Harper gone to his house? How many times had Monica told me they were at her mother's, at a friend's in soccer practice, while they were really playing house with this guy? How long had I been the idiot paying the bills for a family that had already moved on? I drove home on autopilot. Pulled into the driveway at 6:06 p.m. The lights were on. Through the kitchen window, I could see Monica setting the table. Harper was laughing at something on her phone. My family, my wife and daughter getting ready to sing happy birthday to the man they'd already replaced. I didn't go inside. I sat in my car, engine off, and watched them through the glass. Monica called Harper over to help with something. They moved around the kitchen easy and familiar. They looked happy. They looked like they were waiting for someone, just not me. That moment crystallized everything. The rage didn't hit hot and explosive. It went ice cold, calculated. I pulled out my phone and found a law firm that advertised 24/7 availability, the kind that handles ugly divorces. The line rang twice. "I need a divorce lawyer," I said. "Tonight." Ronald Hayes met me at his office at 11 p.m. He was in his 60s, looked like he slept in his suit, and had the kind of face that had seen every brand of human ugliness. When I walked in, he didn't offer condolences or ask if I was okay. He just pointed at a chair and said, "Show me what you got." I handed him my phone. He watched the video twice, made notes, didn't flinch. "This is recent. Today. Someone sent it anonymously? You know who he is?" "No idea." Ronald zoomed in on the man's face, screenshotted it. "We'll find out. This is enough for a fault-based divorce. Adultery is still grounds in this state. Makes things cleaner. Like we were talking about a construction project." "I want everything," I said. "The house, the accounts. I want her to walk away with nothing." He paused on the daughter part. Harper's face flashed in my head, the way she'd looked at him, the way she'd said those words. "She's 12, Ronald said. Courts favor maternal custody at that age, but given the circumstances, parental alienation, exposing a child to an affair, we can argue for full custody.
How long does this take? If she fights, 6 months to a year. If she's smart, she'll settle fast.
I left his office at midnight with a retainer agreement and a plan. First step, find out who the hell this guy was. It took less than 24 hours. His name was Troy Sinclair, 39. Owned a car dealership across town, the kind with inflatable tube men and weekend sales events. Monica's first boyfriend from high school. I found his Facebook profile, saw photos from a reunion 6 months ago. Monica was in 3 of them, standing too close, smiling too wide. 6 months. They'd been doing this for at least 6 months. I hired a private investigator Ronald recommended. Cost me $2,000 up front, but I needed everything. Bank records, phone logs, motel receipts, anything that would bury her in court. By Thursday, I had it all. Monica had been withdrawing cash every Friday, small amounts, $200 here, $300 there, enough to fly under my radar, but consistent enough to fund hotel rooms. The PI tracked her to a motel off Highway 9. She'd been there 11 times in 4 months. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was Harper. Monica had been taking her to Troy's house on weekends. I'd thought they were at Monica's mother's place helping with yard work. Quality time with grandma, she'd said. Lies. All of it. The PI had photos. Harper getting out of Monica's car at Troy's house. Harper sitting on his porch eating ice cream. Harper and Troy throwing a football in his backyard. My daughter had been calling him Uncle Troy. I stared at those photos for an hour. Harper looked comfortable. She looked like she belonged there, like she'd been going there long enough that it felt normal. Monica hadn't just cheated. She'd been auditioning her replacement, slowly erasing me, letting Harper get attached to him so that when the time came, when Monica finally worked up the nerve to leave, Harper would already be used to the idea. Except I wasn't going to give her that chance. Friday afternoon, while Monica was at work and Harper was at school, I had the locks changed, called a locksmith who didn't ask questions, paid him cash for same-day service. Then I went to the bank and froze our joint accounts. Not illegal, my name was on them too. Ronald filed the divorce papers that afternoon. I had them served at Monica's school, hand-delivered by a process server during her lunch break. Maximum humiliation. Then I printed a copy and taped it to the front door. I didn't go inside. I'd taken what I needed earlier. Clothes, documents, my laptop. Everything else could burn for all I cared. I drove to the extended stay hotel I'd booked that morning and sat in the parking lot. My phone stayed silent for 20 minutes. Then it rang. Monica's number. I didn't answer. 3 more calls, 2 voicemails, a string of texts that started with "what the hell" and ended with "answer me." I turned my phone off, walked up to my room, and opened a beer. At 7:30, I drove back to the house and parked across the street where I could see the front door. Monica's car pulled into the driveway at 7:52. Harper was in the passenger seat. Monica got out, walked to the door, tried her key. It didn't work. She tried again. Then she saw the papers taped to the door. She ripped them down, read the first page. Even from across the street, I could see her face go pale. Harper got out of the car and stood there confused. Monica started frantically calling someone, Troy probably. Her hands were shaking. Harper looked at the door, then at her mom, then back at the papers. For the first time in a long time, my daughter looked scared. Good. I sat there for another 10 minutes watching the chaos I'd created. Then I drove away. No confrontation, no screaming, no giving them the satisfaction of seeing me break. Just clean, surgical cuts. The next few days were a blur of legal paperwork, PI updates, and silence from my old life. Monica showed up at the hotel once. I watched her through the window, banging on the lobby door, crying, demanding to see me. The front desk turned her away per my instructions. Her messages went from angry to pleading to desperate. "Alex, please talk to me. This is a mistake. We can fix this. Harper misses me." Harper misses me? The girl who wished another man was her dad? The one who'd been playing happy family behind my back for months? Ronald kept me updated. Troy Sinclair wasn't just some fling. He and Monica reconnected at that high school reunion, and things escalated quickly. Troy was divorced himself, no kids, apparently eager to step into the ready-made family. The PI got more photos, dinners at Troy's house, Monica and Harper staying over some nights when she told me she was at her sister's, Harper wearing a new necklace Troy bought her. From Uncle Troy, the text said. I filed for full custody citing parental alienation and emotional endangerment. The video was Exhibit A. The motel receipts, cash withdrawals, and photos were Exhibits B through Z. Ronald was confident.
He said, "We've got her cold. She cheated, she lied, and she poisoned your relationship with your daughter. Judges hate that." The court date was set for 8 weeks out. In the meantime, I focused on work. I threw myself into a new bridge project, something massive, something that required every ounce of my attention. During the day, I calculated load bearings and stress factors. At night, I calculated how to protect my assets and my future. I canceled joint credit cards, changed passwords, removed Monica as beneficiary on my life insurance. Every loose end tied off. About 3 weeks in, Harper started texting me from her mom's phone, short messages at first. "Dad, why won't you talk to us?" Then longer ones. "Mom cries every night. She says she's sorry. I didn't mean what I said in that video. Please come home." I read every single one. Then I forwarded them to Ronald as evidence. I didn't reply. Not yet. The little girl who hugged Troy and wished he was her dad needed to understand consequences. Monica tried reaching out through mutual friends. "She's devastated, Alex. She made a mistake. Don't destroy your family over one mistake." One mistake? 6 months of lies, 11 motel visits, turning my daughter against me. That's not a mistake. That's a calculated replacement plan. I finally broke my silence in the most public way possible. I posted the divorce filing details on social media. Nothing explicit about the video, but enough for our shared circle to see. Sometimes you discover the foundation was cracked all along. Time to rebuild alone. The comments poured in. Support from some, shock from others, questions I didn't answer. Troy reached out once, blocked number of course. A text that read, "This doesn't have to be ugly, man. We can co-parent." I laughed so hard I nearly choked. Co-parent with the man who slept with my wife in my bed and let my daughter call him dad. I forwarded that to Ronald too, added it to the pile. The court hearing was brutal but swift. Monica showed up looking like she hadn't slept in weeks. Troy sat in the back like the coward he was. The judge watched a redacted version of the video, saw the photos, heard the financial records. When Harper was asked in chambers about her relationship with Troy, she cried, said she didn't know it would hurt me, said Uncle Troy was nice and made Mom happy. The judge wasn't impressed. Temporary full custody to me. Monica got supervised visitation. The house stayed with me pending final division. Child support from her. Alimony denied due to adultery. Monica collapsed in the hallway afterward. Harper ran to her, then looked at me with those big eyes full of confusion and fear. For a second, I almost felt sorry. Almost. Then I remembered the video, the hug, the words, the months of lies. I walked out. In the following months, I rebuilt. Sold the house eventually. Too many ghosts. Bought a smaller place closer to the job sites. Got Harper into therapy. Slowly, painfully, we started talking again. Real talking, not the surface-level stuff from before. She admitted Monica had been pushing the Troy relationship for a while. Mom said you were always working and Troy was fun. Kids are impressionable, 12-year-olds especially, but she's my daughter, blood, and I wasn't letting 6 months of manipulation erase 13 years of being her dad. Monica and Troy? Last I heard they were still together but struggling. The dealership hit some financial trouble. Monica lost her teaching job after the drama spilled into school gossip. They got what they wanted, a life together, but without the comfortable suburban setup I'd provided, without the stability, without me funding their little fantasy. As for me, I'm dating again, slowly, nothing serious yet, but someone who looks at me like I matter, someone whose smile is real and meant for me. I still build bridges, stronger ones now, and I'm learning to check foundations first, my own included. The unknown number who sent that video? Never found out. Maybe a guilty friend of Monica's, maybe Troy's ex, maybe someone who saw the writing on the wall and decided I deserved the truth on my birthday. Whoever it was, they gave me a gift wrapped in pain, the chance to start over before it was too late. If you're watching this and you're in a marriage that feels off, trust your gut. Check the foundations, because sometimes the cracks are there long before the whole thing collapses, and when it does, make sure you're the one walking away with your life intact. What would you have done in my shoes? Drop your stories below. Did you cut them off completely? Did you fight for custody? Let's talk about it.